G'day, welcome to I Cultivate. My name's Steve. Here in Australia, and I know in many other locations around the world as well, we've recently been suffering from some extreme heat events. And those heat events have been playing havoc with our garden. Now, when we have this sort of thing happen, one thing that we need to ensure is that our plants continue to get enough water. So I'm going to be looking at today one way in which we can do that. I'm going to be installing a drip line watering system. The situation for this particular garden is exacerbated quite a bit because, as you can see, the actual garden itself is directly below the eaves of this building. This means even when we get good rain, it doesn't necessarily mean that this garden bed will also get that rain. So that means that these plants actually suffer quite a bit even when there's plenty of water. So I need to make sure that these plants are getting enough water to meet their needs. To do that, I'm going to need a few pieces of equipment. The first of those is this brown hose that you can see here. This is a drip line hose. Now, you can usually find them in any gardening supply place, and they are not really that expensive. So I'd encourage you to go and look for them in your local gardening supply retail outlet. Just keep in mind, they do come in a number of different diameters. Generally speaking, I would prefer that mine was larger than this, but I was given this and I'm just going to make do for these purposes. The second thing you're going to probably need is a timer, because you don't want to be going out and turning the tap on and then off each time you want to actually have the watering system running. So this particular timer, again, this is quite a cheap version, just runs on a battery, and I can set the time that the water flow begins and then ends. And we'll talk more about that as we get further into this video. The last thing that I'm going to use is, you can see here, I've made up using some heavy gauged wire, some staples. And I'm going to use these staples to hold down the drip line in place so that it doesn't move. So let's get into installing this. First of all, it's worth having a look at this soil. Now, even though in just the last 2 days we've had more than 100 mils, or 4 inches if you prefer, of rain, the soil that is here is still quite dry. So my fear is, because this soil has been protected from the rain and therefore been quite dry for a long period of time, that it may have become hydrophobic. So I may have to treat the soil with a solution to help with water absorption as well as installing this system. But we'll have a look at that as time goes on and see how we go. For the moment though, I'm just going to clear back the mulch, and that will give me a path or a track along which I can put the system in place. So let's go on with that. Hey, by the way, if you happen to like this new botanical themed t-shirt that I'm wearing, you can get them from our website icultivate.net, or I'll put a link down below. So you can see here now that I've cleared an area into which I'm going to place the drip line hose. So as you can see, what I'm doing now is just laying out the line approximately, making sure that there's no kinks in it, and I'll come back once I've got it laid out approximately, and then I'll put the staples in to hold it in place. So as you can see, I'm now placing the... See that kink that just occurred there? I have to actually make sure that those kinks don't stay. I'm actually going to use these staples to help shape the pipe so that the kink does not stay. Okay, so I'm happy now that that kink is not going to occur again. And so you can now see that I've got the drip line hose actually laid out within this garden bed here. Stapled down by staples that I made just from a thick gauge wire. But importantly, you will notice that right there is the end, and the end is open. It's not closed off. So the death of any drip line watering system is material getting into the line and clogging it up. Once that happens, you might as well replace it. So the whole idea is to flush it out from time to time. To do that, you just need to open up the end and run the water through it without the end being sealed off. The other thing that you absolutely must have in a drip line watering system is a filter at the tap. So the whole idea is that that filter captures any material that passes from the tap through the water into the hose. It captures it before it gets into the hose. So you will need to make sure that you check that filter from time to time. This is that filter right here. Okay, so let's now turn it on and see whether there's any leaks in any place along the system where there shouldn't be, and also that the water is flowing freely all the way through to the end. So far so good. Let's go and have a look further along the line. Okay, so clearly the water is flowing out the end. And you can see a few little drips starting to occur here. Let's plug up the end and see if the flow from the drip points increases. Okay, so I think you can probably see the drips are actually starting to increase. Okay, so look, I'm pretty happy with that. So all I really need to do now is to cover back up the drip line with the mulch and then set the timer so that it runs for the desired length of time each day or perhaps each week, depending upon the sort of garden bed you're watering. And there we have it, a drip line watering system in this garden bed, a garden bed that typically does not get a lot of water even when we get good rain. The other thing to remember is that water loss from the soil is minimised by this watering system. Firstly, the amount of water that is added is kept to a minimum, and secondly, because it's underneath the mulch, water loss by evaporation is minimised. Now I hope you have got something from this video and you've enjoyed it. Can I please ask you to go to the thumbs up and give us a thumbs up, and don't forget, subscribe to this channel and go to our website icultivate.net and become a member of the community. Thanks for watching.